If you can understand this, this will save you so much money. If you have a Jeffrey, a guy that is a degenerate dreamer, this will lose you. Because Jeffrey came in hot. He chased every narrative. AI coins, meme coins, layer 2s, GameFi, RWA assets, whatever was trending on crypto Twitter that week. He bought Dodge AI all-time high after it had already gone 40x. He aped into Bitcoin at $150,000 because people were tweeting on Twitter saying it was gonna go to $1 million this bull cycle. And he threw half of his portfolio at Solana shitcoin that rugged before the next weekend. His logic? Well, if it's not pumping, it's not worth holding. Jeffrey never took any profits in 2025. Every win was, oh, I'm just getting started. Every dip was a healthy retrace. But the market didn't care. By the time he realized the top was in, his portfolio dropped 85%. He panic sold into red candles, tried to buy the dip with what was left, and he bought another top. Jeffrey didn't lose because he didn't find good coins. He lost because he didn't understand the one rule that mattered in cryptocurrency: take profits before the market takes them from you. Adonis, the ice-cold operator in this bull run. Adonis played the game differently. He's been in crypto researching since late 2023. Now, he bought all the solid coins before they broke out. When shit was hard and none of his friends were interested in cryptocurrency, he stacked Solana while nobody was talking about it. He bought Render as it was seen as nothing. He never FOMO'd, he never chased green candles. And most importantly, he sold into strength. Well, Jeffrey didn't aim for tops. He took out 20% here, 30% here, and 50% profits as his position climbed. When narratives got overheated and everybody was talking about cryptocurrency and all of his friends that weren't interested in 2023, that's when he rotated into undervalued projects and their stablecoins. At the end of 2025, while Jeffrey was stuck backholding, panicking what was going to happen next to his coins, Adonis was locking in gains, funding his next moves, and watching the chaos from a distance. There's only two outcomes to this bull market when it's all done and dusted. Number one, you leave successfully and leave with boatloads of money. Congratulations, you won this bull run. Or number two, you completely round trip the cycle and lose all the money like I had to do in 2021. And that is not a good strategy to have. And in this video, I really want to show you some top altcoins for 2025, but I must be honest with you, time is running out. And before we get into this tier list, guys, you want to be the Adonis. 2025 is going to be wild. Do not get lost in the sauce when things start to pump and you want to chase. You must be prepared, or you're going to be prepared to fail. You know, I was the Jeffrey in that story, and it was painful. A very expensive lesson for me to have to learn, and I do not want any of you guys to be in that situation as we run this 2025 bull run up. Now, you're going to see, and this is the exciting part, brother, you're going to see your portfolio literally go wild in the next 6 months. I can ultimately guarantee you that. But it can and it will run away from you, and you're going to start feeling like the smartest guy in the room, and it's great until it's not, because the party will stop, the music will end, and you must be prepared, or you're going to completely waste this cycle. All the hard work completely gone from nothing because of greed and FOMO. Do not make these mistakes as we run up. Now, real quick, guys, before we give you this tier list on top altcoins for 2025, again, BTCC still have this promotion where you can get a 10% cashback bonus on minimum deposits of $500. It costs you absolutely nothing to do this, so you can come in, come out. I mean, you have to wait 30 days, but again, it is a sweet reward if you guys are wanting for an exchange. Trusted by millions of people for 14 years. I've got over 300 cryptocurrency assets now. And again, for non-UK guys, there's pretty much no VPN or KYC necessarily. For UK guys like me, we have to use a VPN, but it costs you like $2 a month on Nord. So again, you should have a VPN. But again, you guys can check this out in the link in the description if you want. And again, it's a free 10% back on whatever deposit you decide to do. And again, they're also one of the cheapest places. I swapped from MEXC to these guys because MEXC fees are quite scary in the back end. These guys are one of the cheapest to buy and sell cryptocurrency. Now, let's get into it. So on the left, there's a bunch of categories, and this is very, very important. Best risk / best reward does not mean, by the way, brother, it's going to be a 50 to 100x. When I put a coin in that category, what I truly believe is the market cap, the price is low enough for it to make sense for this bull run, right? The 50 to 100x, that is going to be pure speculative. I just want to be clear. Any coin I put in this category, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Because it might not play out. And I'm saying that to you because nobody else will say that to you. Be very careful. The 20x is obviously going to be the standard 20x. The 10x, be here. Nothing wrong with the 10x. Everybody thinks the 10x is just not good enough. But for whatever reason, like, we're getting late in this cycle. So the 20x's, if I made this video a year ago, most of these coins have done 20x's. I just want that to be clear. Most of these coins has pulled 10x's. If I made this video when we were buying cryptocurrency again in 22 and 23, most of these coins has completely beat the 10x. But I do believe there's still time, and that's why I'm making this video. But it might be the last video I make because, you know, if I make this video in 6 months' time, that would just be very retarded of me to make that because you're pretty much going to be buying at peaks. So this is probably going to be the last tier list video I make. I might do one more in the next 2 to 3 months, but that will be the last. But this is very important because if you're not doing this now, it's probably going to be late. The 35x, there's nothing wrong with 35x. You should have plays for 35x. I know it's not as sexy, but just understand that is still amazing gains. It's like 30 to 50 years in the stock market, and the S&P 500 if you get an average of 10%. It's real money. Dog shit, again, going to try and not put any coins in the dog shit category, but there probably will be one or two, and I can already see it on this list right now. Does it mean it can't do well? Just for me personally, I just think probably not the best, but it's absolutely fine. Some of my coins, for example, like Brett, you can put this in dog shit. I agree with you. Brett is a dog shit play. Like, it has no utility. It has literally nothing, bar from people buying higher than what we were buying in the last year when we were buying it and putting that liquidity pool. But for me, number one, meme coin on base, not listed on Coinbase, and that's where I'm riding it. But I understand it's not about utility in some of these plays, and that's why it's a meme coin. So just be clear. Let's try and all be friends on this video, and let's get stuck into it. Now, number one is going to be Bitcoin. The problem with Bitcoin right now is at the current time of recording, it's $103,000. Okay? Now, if we were to go back in peak bear, we could have been buying this, okay, 16, 17, 18K. That's a 5x right now. That's probably a 10x to 15x since peak 25. The problem is, where does Bitcoin go in this category? It's $103,000. It would be very disingenuous for me to put it in a 35x because I don't think Bitcoin's going to $300,000 to $500,000 in this bull market. Remember, this is a bull market. It's not 2055, right? Because everything can pretty much go in here. But the point is, I can't give you a 35x. I'll be lying. So I have to put it in dog shit, as in not dog shit coin, dog shit returns, because in my opinion, this is peaking maximum 180, maximum $200,000, but realistically, probably 130 to 150 is what I've said for a while. Not going to be exact. Could go lower. Probably won't. I think it will break the 130s. Could go higher than 150. I completely agree with you, but nothing right now, as far as Bitcoin, is not getting the 35x. But again, you go back in that chart since 23, 24, it's done that. So that's the problem with videos like this being made right now. You go back in this and you make this video by anything, right? Pretty much anything. So to be clear, before somebody types in the comment, I love you, I want you to do well, but I'm not saying Bitcoin's dog shit. Bitcoin's the biggest part of my portfolio. And again, I show you this as transparency. I can show you my portfolio. Nobody else will show you the portfolio. They'll show you their percentages, but they don't show you 20K fucking swings across a day. Okay, they don't show you when it's absolutely terrible. But number one, Bitcoin is my largest holding. My average price is $23,000. I've already done the 4 to 5x on Bitcoin. Okay, if you're buying Bitcoin today, you get the point. So hopefully that makes sense. Now with Ethereum, Ethereum's interested, isn't it? Had an absolute fantastic last week, or just over last week, or 10 days, last month, Ethereum's added pretty much $1,000 to its price when everybody was really pissed off. Ethereum was terrible this bull run. Started to wake up. Problem with Ethereum at 2.5K right now. I would like to see $10,000. It's a great project. It has great utility. It was great for NFT runs. It's really the gas fees of Uniswap that we use it every single day. And it is needed. Whether you like it or not, it is absolutely needed. Problem is, it's very expensive. It has to go into 35x. Realistic. It's not going to be here. It's not going to be here. It's not here because I think this is better plays, and I'll talk about that in a second. It has to be here. Solana. Solana is the Ethereum, I guess you could say, of this bull run in terms of gains of 2021. Hopefully that makes sense. E.g. for me with Ethereum, 2020, buying at 400, read it to 4.9K, read it all the way down anyway, so it didn't really matter. Problem with Solana. Okay, and this is the distorting videos. Again, we'll get to some good coins in a second, but look at Solana right now compared to 23. Okay, 22, $8, $10. It's already done a 10x. It's not going to 1.7K, this bull run, right? So it really goes back to what I've always said. You buy the same coins, you get a completely different outcome. The guys were buying at 8 on this, the 10, the 12, 14, 20, doesn't really matter. If you're entering at 171, you got a lot of legwork to do before these guys start dumping. Okay, most of them might have already dumped right now. They've achieved the 10 to 15x. So Solana, for me, it's in here. Okay, it will cross this, I believe, but it's not really going to cross much more than this. Okay, it's not going to be in the 10x this bull cycle, in my opinion. It might, but if you rid it for a 10x at 171 and cash in at 1.7, playing a risky game and you got very lucky because that is pretty much peak of the cycle. So I don't think it's anywhere close to that. ADA. ADA was one of big returners in 2021 and 2017. This is an OG. So this was back in 2017. Good news about ADA. It really hasn't moved much since 23 compared to most of these other coins, even like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's beat ADA's gains. What does it do this bull run? It's an interesting one. I've not held really any, I don't think ever. And that doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means I've read other plays. Like I look at ADA compared to my H-bar position, but with a less market cap. And it's performed better. Now, did have a good run since 2024, really when most coins did. Really pumped up to the kind of $1, $1.20 mark. Taking a little bit of a believer, I guess you could say. But it's still chilling in the last 1 year. This was the absolute great gains. Does it beat the $3.21? Probably does. Probably does. But again, you have to ask yourself 80 cents, 8, 16, 24, 32. Okay, does it go to 5? Maybe. I would put it at the tier end of the 35. Probably crosses outside that, but it's not going into the 10x right now, in my opinion. It's already done that. You know, if you're buying maybe back down here, yeah, 10x. 10x from here. Not a 76 in my opinion, but it might. It's got a better chance than Solana, in my opinion. Speaking of that, we can talk about XRP. Now, XRP is a difficult one. Either you love it or you hate it or you're neutral. I've always held 5,000 XRP as a what-if case, just as a what-if, you know? Not that it's going to go to $1,000 like these idiots on YouTube promising you there, or 589. I love you, I respect you, but if you think that, you will lose all your money. Okay, might get it one day. You're not going to get 1,000 one day. Don't be an absolute crazy man. You know, we all want to get rich, but we don't want to be holding the bag. XRP's been great, you know, since here, nothing happened, but you proved them wrong. And I did as well, because again, I've had 5,000 for a while as a what if case. Now, it didn't get the 2021 run that it deserved. It got the 2017 run, and does this 2017 run? Because if it does this coin fucking moves. Problem with me is market cap, and I know a lot of XRP guys are going to say market cap's not important. Fuck it is, bro. Fuck it is. Don't be that guy. It is important, if not one of the most important things about understanding how to value coins. And before you type that in the comment, again, we're all friends here. We all want to do well, but it is important because you will bag hold this all the way down, okay? And I'm telling you that as somebody that wants you to do well. If you don't understand this, you will bag hold it. It's probably got $10 in it, to be honest. And does it have 23 to equal that 10x? Don't think it does. Again, it was a lot better to buy at 50 cents. Then you've got that easy. So I've seen a lot of people say 14, 18 kind of dollars. So probably 5 to 7x. Just put it in here, maybe outside of 5x. And that's where I would put it. Now, Render. Had an interesting story with Render across my journey. If you're an OG subscriber, I wish I bought this at 50 cents. I was talking about it so much here. Was it too much of a pussy? And that's just reality. Pumped up to 12. Recently bought it at 270 for a quick flip. Sold it. Made the easiest, I think it was £20,000, I guess you could say, on this coin in the last month. Last month was very profitable for me in Render. Could have held it, but I just seen the opportunity on April 7th, I believe, when it pretty much got down to these kind of levels. I think it was here. Yeah. Around about 270, picked it up. And yeah, pretty much flipped it. Almost a double. And yeah, Render's great. It's number one in AI, in my opinion. It's getting to those levels where, you know, stocks like Nvidia is really going to push this coin up. I think it's early days. The guys that were buying at 12, 13, same coin, different outcome. It's really unfortunate, but I do think you will see your money back in this coin if you bought the absolute peaks. I do think that. I've seen crazy price predictions above the $100. That is a little bit silly in my opinion. Now, I would like to put this coin, if you don't mind, in 2 different categories. It'll do the 10x in my opinion, but I think it's the best risk/reward. Not completely on the market, but there'll be a few coins in this category. I do think that. Now, at $2.70, when I told you guys about this live, yeah, way better. But I do still think it comes in this category just because of AI and just because I just know, like deep within my soul, 99% of this coin is such an easy return. And again, at the market cap right now of 2.4, it's still cheap in my opinion. Sui. Now, Sui is almost like the sweetheart of this cycle. Hasn't had a 2021 run, went on an absolute tear, and from give or take 70 cents to over $5. Big kind of drop. Obviously, Bitcoin controls the market. And right now at 3.8, I do think it hits $10. I don't think it gets to the 10x right now. Okay, it has to go in here, but I would like to see it do 67x. But anything higher than that, I think, is a little bit silly. Yeah, I just think render will beat it in terms of returns. I think that's obvious, and yeah, that's what I would put it. I just realized I put XLM instead of XRP, but that's okay. So we can talk about XLM. XLM literally moves the exact same as XRP. I don't think the project is nearly as good. Of course, it's not, because the market cap would be more. But I do think XLM will beat XRP's gains. But I do not think it gets in here. I would love to. Will be XRP. You've seen exactly how it moves. It just literally copies it, but it moves more. But it also dumps more, so you have to be careful. Hedera hash graph. Feels like every single day I'm talking about this coin. And that's because I'm one of my biggest altcoins by a lot. And it was very scary H-bar for me, because I had to hold and keep buying this shit when nothing was happening. And I thought for a split second that I was wrong. And I was wrong for a long time, but right now I'm weighing profit in this coin. Problem is, again, at 36 cents, when I was telling you guys to buy it, I can't tell you what to buy, of course, but yeah, other coins have definitely beat this. That's absolutely fine, but it's one of my biggest conviction plays. Have over 1 million coins, and I do plan to be a H-bar millionaire in this bull cycle, hopefully, and I think I can achieve it. Haven't bought it for absolute ages now, but I bought it a lot here. Problem is, at 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, 6 cents, compared to 20 cents buying it right now, and I know a lot of guys jumped back on ship at 40 cents. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is, or 36, 37 cents, whatever the kind of Wix was. Same coin, different outcome. At the current price right now, compared to the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, and you're looking at 10 to 20x. Right now, though, not going to see it. Have to put it in here, and that's unfortunate, but you can't say I didn't tell you so. Okay? Now, that's just reality. Casper. Casper's great. Never held it. I believe Crypto John, a little YouTuber from the USA, loves it, and he's done great off this coin. Absolutely fantastic. Problem is, it's a lot far away from what it was here. I have no idea where this coin's going to go. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I could maybe put it in the best risk/reward, but you've already missed that in my opinion. Will it do a 10x? Maybe. I don't really know. I have no idea about Casper, to be honest. Never held it, never been interested. I would love to know where you would put it. I'm going to put it in the 10x, but it's probably going to be here, to be honest. But I'm going to put it in there, and that's just where I see it. Now, Aerodrome Finance. A lot of our guys in our private community are absolutely killing it with Aerodrome Finance on a DeFi liquidity pool, full range pool. It's paying literally 45 to 55% per year. Not as attractive as some other plays, but it's no risk pool if you hold Aero, should I say. And the reason why is if you were buying Aero at $2, $1.90, $1.80, yeah, spot position, you're probably going to make profits on that. But if you've had an Aero pool, give or take, since here, and you bought the absolute peaks because you FOMO'd into it, the difference is, if you put it in a pool, which is on Aerodrome Finance, you don't need to pay me to give you the information, okay? I never want to sell you something that you don't need. Go on Aerodrome Finance, put it in a pool against USDC. And the difference is, you make a fuck ton of Aero on the way down to stomach that loss on paper. And when it does eventually pump back up, like it has, from the 30s to the 60s, like it's doubled, all that Aero that you accumulated all the way down here is now worth double. And when it goes back above 2, that's how you become rich. And hopefully you guys understand what I mean by that. And if you don't, you're sleeping on pools on coins like Aerodrome Finance. At 63 cents, this is one of the coins that it is a better opportunity than 2s, because a lot of other coins have smashed their all-time high. This hasn't. Now, outside of pools, because I just want to talk about spot position, because I know a lot of people don't do pools, but outside of pools at 60 cents, at $500 million market cap, I do think it does join render. I do believe that. The market cap's so low. Base coin ecosystem, love the base coin system. I love the base ecosystem, should I say. And that's where it goes. Probably does a 10x, but I think it could do more, and I think it has to, like, to me, this is a sleeper. in my opinion, if you're looking for a coin to buy, and especially if you combine it in that liquidity pool. If you don't know how to do that, just type it in. You'll find it on YouTube, probably, but make sure you're doing it a legit way because you don't want to lose your Aerodrome finance. Ondo, BlackRock, nothing really to say about that. Yeah, this is going to absolute run. Do not hold any in my portfolio. I'm ashamed to say that. I just don't. Sorry, guys, I just don't hold Ondo. Not because I don't like it. It will do well. And in my opinion, it also joins the best list afterward. At current prices. Up here, no. But at a 50% discount. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. You guys, just because I'm not holding it, you should hold this if you believe in BlackRock and what they were doing. One of the biggest asset managers in the space. Larry, forget his second name, but these guys know crypto like the back of their hand. They have trillions of dollars. And they're not going to lose all their money. Let's talk about some gaming coins. Gaming coins have been absolute lackluster, I guess you could say. But if you know the last cycle, like we did, gaming was one of the last ecosystems to pump. Okay, really when gaming coins really started to come was like June, July. Not going to tell you that's going to be this cycle, but I expect June, July, August is when gaming coins will go crazy. Now, the OG coins, Axie Infinity, I don't think these coins are going to be here. Okay, so dog shit. And it could be there, but I just think new coins will get these money. I just don't think there's people in these games. Same with Sandbox. Great returns in the last bull run. I do not think these coins are going to be here. Gala Games is a coin I still hold, unfortunately. It has been terrible, to be absolutely honest. They have sued the fuck out of each other, but again, I give you transparency here. You know, I've banked good profits of banked good profits of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, HBAR, Render. But I've lost money on paper on coins like Gala Games and Illumium, and that's just reality. You can't bet on every horse, and they're not all going to all win, but as long as you're covered, you will win. And unfortunately, have to put it in dog shit. Doesn't mean it can't make money. Bitcoin will make money. Axie Infinity will make you money. Sandbox will, blah, 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 blah. But I just think it's too risky, okay? Bitcoin's not risky. Bitcoin is guaranteed to make you money if you know how to sell. Okay, I can guarantee you that. But it's not worth the risk / reward. These Axie Infinity, these Sandbox, these decentralized mana, these Gala Games will probably make you money, but the chances of them not making you money are much higher than the chances of these absolutely making you money. In my opinion, that's just the way I see it. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, because I do believe being one of the new coins, you could almost treat this like the Gala Games, the Axie Infinity of the last bull run, because it hasn't had that. I do believe this is where we, ring, we tick off our first 20x, okay? A 10x on this market cap would be 3 billion, 4 billion, I guess you could say. So a 20x is still less than $10 billion in market cap. This coin is one of the best gaming coins that I can see this cycle. It is risky though. I want you to understand that the game on system, when we start getting less than a $500 million market cap, it is risky, okay? But I do believe this will be here. It could very much go in here, but holding it for that is a little bit silly. And it does cross its first 20x. Dogecoin. Dogecoin for me is a great coin. It will make you money, but it's not worth it. And the reason why I tell you that is very simple. If I'm already going to take a speculative bet in meme coins, and this is the reason why I bought Brett, and most of you guys know this, not that I'm shilling Brett. Brett have never paid me a penny, unfortunately. I would love for them to do, but Brett does pay me. You know how Brett pays me? Because I have it in a liquidity pool for over 1 year, and I've paired this against Ethereum, and I've made over $40,000. So I guess you could say Brett has paid me, but that's me being smart with Brett. So far, I could lose it all. That's absolutely possible, but Brett have never paid me, unfortunately, which really sucks because I've done so much free marketing for these guys. And I've made so much people money if you bought and put it in a liquidity pool like I did. If you bought at the local tops, yeah, that's your fault. But I do still think you will make money on the, I guess it was 20 cents. I'll have to look at the chart in a second. I do still think you'll make money on that. But again, same coin, different outcome. Now, I was going on a tangent there. Dogecoin is not worth the risk / rewards. Okay, it's $33 billion market cap. It probably will cross $100 billion market cap this cycle. But it's not going to beat the 3 to 5x in my opinion, okay? The run was 2021 in Dogecoin, okay? That was the time to get rich on Dogecoin, okay? It's so far high in market cap compared to what its actually real world value is. Again, in my opinion, most of these coins are worth nothing, but memes have value, and that's just reality. They do control the market in that space. Pepe's another one. It's at 5 billion, okay? Now, this is where I think Good risk/reward. I would like to put it in here, but I can't for the love of me put it in here, if that makes sense, just because I think it's being a little bit silly to tell you that it's a best risk/reward because it's just a meme coin. But I do put it in a 10x. That's where it's going to go, in my opinion, at current market cap. Okay, 5 billion market cap. I do think it will flip Shiba. It doesn't have to, but I do think it will. The only reason that Pepe will do this is because Dogecoin will get most of the money flow, and that money flow will flow into these market cap meme coins. That's how it works every single cycle. That's how it works every single pump. The money will always flow, and if you can understand that, that's how you get rich. Brett, again, I'm not here to show my own bags. This coin's big enough market cap for where it needs to be. It's been on an absolute tear in the last 1 month. You doubled your money, okay? Again, combine this in the liquidity pool. We're making so much fucking money in this coin. All-time high, at current time of recording, was about that 20 cents. I guess it was it 2 billion market cap? I'm not sure on basic maths. Now, this is a risky play, okay? My goal for this was to make $1 million trade like my H-bar. Now, at the current time of recording, I believe I have about 480,000 coins, not including my liquidity pool, but I need more coins for that to happen, okay, because I'm going to have to hold this too long. I'm very fucking scared for myself that I have to make that $1 million trade to be a legend on the YouTube space on Brett, but I'm very scared that I might hold it too long if I don't have enough coins. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of round-tripping Brett. I really, really am. So I'm very apprehensive. I don't want this coin to start going crazy yet because I am making so much free coins in this one. But I really need to have a look at myself and have an exit strategy on Brett because I don't have one right now. And it's just difficult because it's a meme coin and because I've been in this coin for so long. And yeah, it's hard to say. I'm going to put it in a 10x. It will do more, but that's where I'm going to try and be with my coin. That doesn't make me a millionaire, unfortunately. It gets me halfway there. But it's just a little bit risky. Now, VRA. Veracity is interesting, boys. I don't know if you've seen the chart on this, give or take a month ago. Had a scam wick. Look at this shit. Had a big scam whip. Started to do really well, but in the last month, it's still up. So people were saying, oh, Veracity is a scam. Veracity could be a scam. In my opinion, it's not. It's been here since 2020, really 2019, I guess you could say. It's a very old traditional coin, which means it makes people money on Google advertisement, Facebook advertising. That's what it does. But this was very concerning. It's kind of scam wick. Don't know what happened. Leveraged longs, I believe, on KuCoin, something happened. But again, if in doubt, zoom out. Even with this big scam wick, okay? Because when you get to a low market cap like this, 17 million, you're playing with fire. But it's still up in a 1 month, even with this big, absolute fucking huge discount, okay? It's still up. Okay, last year, not that great. All time, yeah. And this is the moonshot for me, where we get in the 50 to 100x category. But I'm very prepared. Okay, so never quote me on this. Jake said it's going to do 50 to 100x. I'm saying it's a chance, but I'm most likely saying it could be absolute dog shit this cycle. I hold it for this. I filled up my main bags. I did the hard work, and I needed to put some money into some riskier plays like Brett, like Veracity, like Beam. Okay, so just to be clear, that's where I'm putting it, but it could very well do this. It will probably do this, the 10 to 20, but that's where I'm going to put it. Crypto.com. Well, Cronus was interesting in the last bull run. It's an exchange coin. A lot of people don't like them. I do think they're a good exchange. Don't use them. And have before. The card thing was a little bit of a scam. Let's be honest. Like $400,000 for what? Free Netflix and some VIP flights. Okay, bro. These guys will market the fuck out of this bull run. Like they did in 21. They bought the Stable Center. Matt Damon. A lot of interesting stuff that happened in the last bull cycle. I do think it's a better alternative to Binance. Binance market cap is way higher than this. And I do think, realistically, what's it at right now? 10 cents? It's probably going to be a 10x, okay? We'd probably take profits here. I wouldn't bank on it being its previous all-time high, to be honest, but probably going to do that in my opinion. ICP. Now, ICP is very difficult. It's got a very cult-like following. I do believe, is it Jeremy Banfield? Somebody check me on that. Crazy fucking guy on YouTube, by the way. Like, very crazy. To be honest, I've started to go down a rabbit hole in this guy. He's fucking weird. I'm sorry, Jeremy Banfield. I love you. I respect the hustle, but he flip-flops his channel. It's just weird. Just check that. It's Jeremy Banfield, I think his name is. It's very weird. But he's probably the biggest ICP believer. I believe he sold everything to go in ICP. In the last 1 year, it's been a terrible strategy for Jeremy. Or Jerry, I think his name is. Last month was okay. Obviously had a big whoopsie-doopsie scam. FTX, very manipulated. This wasn't actually real. I do think it does do as well. Don't hold any. Don't plan to. Don't hate me, because it could be the 50 to 100x. It could be here. It could be the best risk/reward. I love you guys, but I'm putting in dog shit. Sorry. But it could do this. I do love you, but it's going to dog shit for me. Speaking of dog shit, Quant. Quant has been dog shit. I've been interested in Quant for a while. It's, again, one of my biggest losers on paper. And again, I tell you this because I show you guys everything. It's terrible. The reason why I was interested in Quant, they provide revenue. They actually make money in crypto, which is unheard of. They have less max supply ever than Bitcoin. Very interesting to me. The market cap is 1 billion. It did well in 2021. And I was like, okay, well, this coin's an easy $1,000 in 2025. It could still do that, by the way. But I'll be honest with you, it has done absolutely nothing. Last 1 month, okay, started to do well. Could be a late bloomer to this cycle. Kind of was in the last bull cycle. But it has to go in dog shit right now. Still have some, still hold some. I'll let you know how it goes. So far, it's been terrible. But it could be a sleeper. Would not buy any, to be honest. Monero. Monero's interesting. Don't have any, but I know a lot of people that are going to use Monero. If you don't want to pay taxes, quick hack, not telling you to do this, especially in the USA. If you don't want to pay taxes, you cannot pay taxes with Monero. Okay? Don't ask me how. Don't tell me, make a video on it. But you can. Monero's a sleeper. I think it's going to do well. It's needed. I believe they've had a bounty on Monero to hack Monero for like $1 million or $10 million. Nobody's ever done it. Nobody ever will. It's very good for the guys that don't want to pay taxes. That's why it has value. That's a real. Does it do a 10x in this bull cycle? Don't think it does. That would be a $60 billion market cap. I'm going to put 3.5. But it could do this. It's got a lot of value. I know a lot of people, big players, that are using this to not pay taxes. Don't ask me how. Do your own research. I'm not the guy for that. And Virtual's Protocol. Virtual's Protocol is very interesting. It's a new coin that has had probably one of the best gains in the whole cycle so far. One of our guys called TJ, music producer, shout out him, ex-banker, chose to jump ship to crypto. Respect that. One of the best gains so far. Problem was, big discounts. Now, he ripped this. He made a fuck ton of money on this. And he never got back in. But what I'd like to see, and the reason why I'm bringing it up today, is usually when coins do this kind of pump and dump, number one, people are taking profits, but number two is they never really come back. Okay, usually you just see it start to go down to death. But this coin has doubled since the bottom, almost. 90 cents to 170, so it's getting close. And that's good to see. It has potential. Okay, really doing well in the last month. Okay, 2x, which is crazy, about 3x. I can't put it anywhere here because it's too new to say. But it's probably a 35x. It's probably a 10x, to be 100% honest. I mean, if you go back and you look at $1.70 to like $4.40, probably going to do $10, $15 in my opinion. It's just one of those categories that's also AI, but it's also AI agent, so it's even nearer than that, so it's too risky. I'm going to have to scale it back to the 3 to 5, but it probably does 5 to 7 in my opinion. And that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's a lot of coins on the market that we could talk about. Okay, maybe I'll do one more of this, or if this video does well, share it with a friend and like it. I might do some other coins that I haven't mentioned. It's hard to, like, this video has been like 30 minutes and we barely touched the surface in cryptocurrency. There's 15.65 million coins. There's way more than that, by the way, if you think of other platforms. This bull market's going to be great, but I want you to go back in this video and look at this story that I told you at the start with Jeffrey and Adonis. Okay, because as we've mentioned today, gains have been made on Bitcoin. Okay, for example, that coin's not going to give you the best returns like it did in 23. Okay, so it's very understanding and it's very important. If you have cash, you are buying higher than we were buying. But how long do you want to wait? Be the Adonis. Don't be the Jeffrey in this bull cycle. Peace and take care, guys. See you in the next one.